how my clients manifested their dream life. And that is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Hi, everybody. I'm Natalie, and this is As the Pennies Drop, a coaching channel dedicated to helping you create a life you love, deserve, and desire. Before I go into how my clients were able to transform their lives, I'm also going to be sharing with you, by the way, a success story of my own. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon where I notify you when I'm posting, which is every Sunday. I nearly forget that. Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. However, this series has gone out every single day because I couldn't hold back on these techniques any longer. Okay, so I'm going to start with what I'm going to do is going through each video step by step and show you how my clients were able to achieve their desired result, how they manifested their dream life. Now, the first client I'm going to talk to you about is a client that had never been able to lose the weight that he wanted and to sustainably keep that weight off. So there were also some issues around his self-worth when it came to work, and fundamentally he felt that he was less of a person because he didn't have a degree, and that was something that kept playing over and over in his mind. So it was that linked with a lack of self-worth, and when he used to take calls at work from clients, he would have a lot of anxieties about them, about not feeling good enough. You know, what if he can't do this? What if they think he's just an imposter because he doesn't have a degree? You know, so we had a multitude of things there. And he has, by using these steps, lost over 4 stone in weight. He has been promoted, and he is just waiting on this pay rise, and he has an extremely high-powered job. So I'm so proud of him. He has worked diligently on changing his thoughts and beliefs, and he now has the results that he has been looking for all his life, and the belief and self-worth inside of him, most importantly. So what did we do? So when I first met him, basically we went through the first step. We wanted to understand exactly what it was that he wanted. So he wanted the weight loss, and he wanted the weight to stay off. He also wanted to feel like he was good enough at his job, and he was worthy of having the job that he's got. There were some emotional eating issues in there as well. And it was all kind of based around a lack of self-worth, a lack of belief in himself. So we knew what he wanted. That was fundamentally clear. We then looked at what would it feel like? What would it feel like if he actually had that right now? What if he feel like if he believed that he was good enough for his job? And what would it feel like if he got promoted? What would it feel like if he got a huge pay rise? What would it feel like if he did lose that weight? What would it feel like when he was on the beach again and he was feeling confident about himself? Because there was also a lack of self-esteem there as well because of the weight that he was carrying. So we basically became clear on what it was that he wanted and how that would make him feel if he got it. Then we move on to step 2. So these literally are the steps that I've laid out in the video in this particular order. So then step 2 was what fears, what limiting beliefs, judgments that he may have been holding on to. So we dug really deep to find out what the underlying limiting belief was that he had about himself. And once we were able to release that, I was able then to give him the Rampage of Frustration tool, which was one of the tools that we used about some specific people that had been in his life, and to be able to release the anger and the upsets that he had experienced. We was also able to moving on to that, look at what his self-talk was. So we were able to set some positive affirmations about himself. So that would be, you know, I am good enough, I am worthy, I am capable of being promoted, I am doing a good job, I am able to lose the weight that I want to lose and to keep it off. There was lots and lots and lots of positive affirmations that we started putting into his daily ritual. And there was so many more as well. You know, the fundamentally being able to value himself was extremely important, you know, so we would add that in, you know, I am valuable to this world, I am valued, I do value myself, I am confident, I am intelligent, I am successful, I am inspirational, I am what other words did we use, I am respected. It was all of these kind of interlinked with, you know, the way and how he felt about himself, and the feelings at work that he had of him just not being able to be good enough and feeling like he'd be caught out. It was that kind of thing. So we put those so looking at the self-talk, we were able to start to transform his self-talk. We also added some intentions as well. And we looked at assumptions, and because there were some heavy assumptions that he had about certain things, and it could be just before he would have to take a client call, he would feel extremely overwhelmed, and then that's when the emotional eating would come in. So we looked at changing that assumption, because an assumption is something that is accepted to be true without any proof. So we started putting some positive assumptions in place, and doing that, he was able to relax more, there was less anxieties, and then he started to create a list of evidence of all the things that were going really, really well on every single call that he was able to, that he was a part of and managing. So that was going really well. The emotional eating then completely stopped, because he was able to feel good enough about himself that he was confident and capable of doing his job and doing it really well. So then we moved onto the journaling. Now, his form of journaling was more regarding intention settings and what he was looking at, but he put that in a form of a script. So the journaling that I have suggested in this series, and something that I've used, is that forward thinking, but through his intention settings, he was actually doing that. So with the journaling that I've suggested, and if we interlink the intention settings, that the intentions that he was using, but, you know, I intend to feel confident on a beach next year, I intend to be able to buy a brand new wardrobe of clothes, I intend to give all my big clothes to charity, I intend to feel healthy and fit, I intend to weigh X amount, I intend, you know, so it was those types of things. And he was able then to put that into a journal of the forward thinking, which is what I've shared with you in video 4. So video 4 and video 5, it was one or the other. I tend to do both, but video 5 was all about a gratitude letter. That isn't something that he did. But then basically all he did was he let go. So we move on to video number 6, the art of letting go. He was able to let go. And yes, that did take some time to be able to put that into practice. But the more he tried, the more he succeeded. And again, that interlinked with, you know, him being able to get the promotion, him being able to get the pay rise, and him now being a weight that he has never been before in his life. And it has come off gradually, consistently over the past year. So it's absolutely incredible. So that is how he then got to manifesting his dream. So he's now got the job, he now believes in himself, and he's now got the body that he has always wanted. And he, like I said, he's lighter than he's ever been. So it's fantastic. So that is his journey using the techniques. And me, last one. So my success story, I've shared with you guys in the past of my success story with getting a job that I really wanted and the money that I wanted. But I couldn't envisage at that time the amount of money that was even possible to come to me. It was unimaginable amounts of money. And I remember, so again, going through these steps, I remember wanting a different job, wanting a better life, wanting more money, wanting more challenges, wanting more success. I remember literally, you can see the table in the corner there. I remember sitting there with post-it notes going, right, this is where I am, this is where I want to be. And before I knew too much about law of attraction, then I've started to try and work out the how, but the how does not matter. So we'll forget that part. But I was like, this is where I am, this is where I want to be. And I would literally have post-it notes all over my walls, just just trying to think about what it was that I wanted. And I was able to then narrow it down on a scrappy piece of paper, and it was 5 things. So I wanted to have more money. I wanted to be happy in my job. I wanted to work with customers. I wanted to have an amazing boss and amazing team. That was it. And I was able to then, once I'd worked out this, I was able to then think about what would it feel like if I had it. Oh my God. So I'm writing down all these things about what I'm going to be spending my money on, and, what it's like to have another amazing boss. I'd already had an amazing boss, another new amazing boss. It would be really supportive, and, going out with my new team and speaking to customers and, really doing things that were challenging for me then. So I wrote down how it would feel, and then I was like, the fears, and a lot of people came at me with the fears. It was like, God, you're so brave, do you really, you really think that you should be changing your career at this stage, and you're really good at what you do. And so I had all these things coming in, but I was able to release my fears very, very easily, because I just wrote down what they were. And it was, what if I failed? And what if I failed and then I got sacked? How am I going to pay my bills? It was all those types of fears that I had. And once I was able to eliminate them through the rampage of frustration, I was then able to kind of and I didn't do this every day. By the way, I didn't do this every day, but what I was able to do was just literally journal about the money, journal about the life that I had because of the job that I had, journal about the holidays that I could just book and pay for just like that, journal about all of that. So it would be, I'm so grateful for all that I have. I am so grateful for my new job. It's absolutely incredible. It's better than I ever thought it was going to be. And I now have more money in the bank account than I've ever had before in my life. Now, I was writing all of this. I had no idea that, 1 month I took home, it was around about £15,000. 1 month I took home £15,000. And I remember checking the app on my phone, being in my car because I'd had the day off because I was going to meet a friend to have a spa day. And I remember just checking my phone and seeing that money in my bank account. And I remember I just couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. It was just incredible. The paychecks I was getting were just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was just incredible. And I had a lot of fun with that money, that is for sure. And it was just that freedom that I had to be able to buy whatever I wanted. The feeling of not having to kind of count the pennies, which is what I'd had all my life, was just incredible. I loved it. It was, yeah. So I basically went through the process of, I knew what it was that I wanted. I released my fears using the rampage of frustration. And obviously, the what if, but what if it did work out over the what if it didn't? My self-talk at the time wasn't the best, but it wasn't that bad that it stopped me from moving forward. So anytime I had a negative thought or fear about what if I failed, I just pushed through it. That's how I managed that. I just pushed through it. Basically ignored it. Then, you know, the journaling, the scripting. And like I said, I didn't do that every day. But I did let go because I already had a job that I loved. I had a life that I loved. You know, I was teaching exercise classes as well. I was out every Friday and Saturday night. You know, I had a great life. And, you know, I loved my job. So it wasn't that I stopped living my life. So for me, that was the easiest to let go of. Let it go. And I would probably say from doing the work, I had that new job offer within 6 months, and the money was building up and building up and building up and building up each month. But that came probably about 18 months, maybe less, about 18 months after I started doing all of this. But the paychecks every single month were getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But the £15,000 is the biggest paycheck that I have received to date. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, that is 3 client success stories, 3 proofs that the techniques that I've shared with you in this Manifesting Your Dream Life series really, really does work. So if you are interested in one-to-one coaching with me, please get in touch. You can use the contact link below. I am doing an offer at the moment, whereas if you buy a block of 10 sessions with me, you get 2 sessions for free. So if that is something that you're interested in, then like I said, get in touch. I do offer a free 30-minute consultation. So, and yeah, I'm here to help you create and help you manifest your dream life.